Hello everybody, Clevatess episode 1 has finally come out, and this anime low-key kind of reminds me of like a Vinland Saga at first, and then it totally switches up to be like evil Frieren. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. So if you guys think that sounds interesting, there's a 48-minute episode out right now as I am dropping this episode, so you guys should totally watch that. It is like 2 episodes in one, so this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. I tried to cut it down as much as I could, but let's get right into the breakdown. We start off with this young girl who is talking to her father. She asks this man, why is our map so small? She sees a map on the wall and it's not very big. She asks, why is this all we know? Why is this all that's on the map? And here's the map. As you can see, all the green bit, not light brown color, is land, and then the brown bit is ocean. So like there's not a lot here, obviously, and there's even this black mist around it. So what he ends up saying is that all that black mist is places we have not explored, and the reason we haven't explored it is because there are monsters, as you can see. Spooky monsters that have even taken Dad's leg. So he's a peg leg because assumingly he was a hero before. Either that or he fought off like a regular dark beast before and now he's just legless. And as kids do, she now promises that she is going to help expand the knowledge of what humanity knows. She is going to defeat one of the guardian beasts that prevent us from moving forward in this land. We then cut to her in the future, now looking over one of the carved owls that this man had. She now has gear that's like enchanted, and this is supposed to be gear that makes her many times stronger than what she is normally. And we come across this thing, which seems to be one of the evil beasts, and here we have a pretty good shot at all of the heroes. I think there was 13 of them, if that's the number. Maybe it was 17. It was an odd number and it was in the teens. I think it was 13, and the strongest guy gets taken out immediately. That's him. And she doesn't even recognize that he's done yet. This is the next frame when she realizes he's dead, and he's all the way back here now. So going from where he was to where he is, you can assume how powerful this guy is. Way out of these guys' league, basically. We then see him basically taunting them, holding out his like stinger tail thing right in front of his face, saying, oh yeah, I did that. Can I just say, the amount of aura this guy has in this scene, like this is the strongest humanity has to offer, and he just shows off, not even trying, like, yeah, I could take out all of humanity's strongest warriors without trying. Then we get this super awesome eye shot right before he just goes into full-on murder mode. Guy after guy, they end up dead. Just for our girl to come in, swipe, and then get murdered. So she looks like just loses her legs here, but like she's bleeding from the face too. Yeah, we can safely assume she's dead in this scene, like as soon as she flies off. Then we get the Hidden Kingdom, capital of Hyderat, and you can pretty much assume what's gonna happen here. He shows up. Big lion, multi-tailed monster. Now he's at the kingdom's gates after plowing through all the city. The guards are shooting everything they have at him. Giant pylons, cannons, catapults, not cannons. I don't think they have cannons yet in this world. They're firing everything, harpoons, everything they can. And the king is now warned. They're fearing for the king's life and for the forge of creation or something. It has all the jewels in it that makes all the super powerful weapons. This is the only one that we know of, that even these guys know of. So once this thing is gone, and the royal family is the only one who knows the secret of how to create these. So once these guys are gone, the secret to strength is gone with it. And then the king goes down into the cellar, kind of where the forge is, and then this mana beast, magic beast, dark beast, whatever it's called, takes us all off. And we, at some point, I think at this point we've already learned that this is Clevatess. So this is the guy, the big yellow dog black monster thing. That's the main character. That's the guy the show is named after. This is our main character. And he's about to kill the king of this land. That king is very dead, very much so killed by Clevatess. So we just watched our main character kill humanity's last hope for survival. I am at this point not sure where his show is going. This would have been a great place to cut off for a 24-minute episode, but they gave us a 48-minute long episode, so we're not done yet. We then have this young woman who is holding this baby, but she's crushed, so she can't save this baby. So she asks the only thing she can, which is Clevatess, the guy who just killed the king and everyone else in the city. After doing her absolute best, Clevatess neglectfully agrees to take care of the child until it proves its worth, until it grows up. This is crazy. So he kills everyone in the city except for this child, who he is now going to raise to learn what humanity is. We then get a more in-depth explanation as to where all the races are. There's like 5 or 6 different races. One's kind of like an orc. The people of Heidenrat were like elves, I guess, which are the most ancient. There are human people, there are like aquatic people, but they're not like fish people. They're just people who live near and in the ocean. They don't like breathe water as far as I know. There's like a demon race, but like they're not bad. They're just sharp tooth solo kind of people. I don't remember if there was anyone else, but I think those are like 5 or 7 races of humans, and all the humans seem to be against the dark beasts of the world, so they're not like technically against each other as much as they are against the dark beasts. Then we go to Luna Mountain, which is where the Clevatess monster lives. Clevatess is trying to figure out how to take care of this baby, throws it in a pile of beetles. Turns out they're like dung beetles, and they're gonna take care of the poo that the baby made. And he figures out, I have no idea how to care for a human child, so what I'm gonna need to do is revive this woman. She's out here experiencing her past, thinking about that time her dad died. Apparently her dad died when she was like, she looks like she could be like 15 to 30. No, she's not 30, maybe 22. 15 to 22 is a pretty safe guess. And then she wakes up having the giant scar on her eye and the suit of armor. We can assume this is when she was killed, when Clevatess is still around. So Clevatess explains as long as Clevatess is alive, she can't die. Also, he wants to see her boobs. So she's actually forced to show her boobs because she's kind of like his servant now. Of course, the scene does cut away before we actually see anything, so that's nice. We're keeping it like PG-16. PG-16 is good. And he explains this is actually for the baby. It's not like creepy stuff. Of course, he's a like wolf goat monster that also kind of has like lion kind of hair whenever he wants to. So obviously he's not being creepy. This is something he needs. Anyway, she explains she's a virgin, so like she's not going to be able to produce milk. And he turns into the person who gave him the kid. So then they can go and find a wet nurse, so then the kid can grow up healthy. But in order to do that, he's got to disguise himself as a human. This girl is freaking out. Turns out her name is Alicia. Alicia is asking Clev, how did he do that? Like, you could just become a person at any time. Why? Brief explanation later about how he will need to be there with the kid so then the kid won't be hurt. He's micromanaging her as she's taking care of the baby. And later when she's washing herself, because by his own words, Clevatess's own words, she seems to be dirtier than any dark beast in the forest. She uses the rag that the kid was wearing. Here we see, that's the royal family's crest. It turns out this baby is next in line for the throne, possibly. And we see this guy who's running around the destroyed village of Heidenrat, or the destroyed major city, major capital of Heidenrat. And off in the distance, there is these people who are dressed in dark colors, quite a few of them, knights of some sort, of probably an enemy nation, because even in a world where we have a common enemy, There is obviously going to be some kind of struggle to control everything. We then have this shot, which establishes this guy as kind of like a leader, and this person over here, who reminds me of a certain character scientist from Black Clover, but this is actually a guy, I think. From the voice actor, I'm pretty sure it's a dude. And basically they explain, we're gonna try our best to take over this now destroyed village and recover the essence of the forge that creates weapons that make people stronger than they actually should be. So they're actually going to be competing with this other nation that has a blue and yellow flag for what is left of Hydrat, and they even have to concern themselves with Clevatess. So this guy seems to be relatively smart, knowing that Clevatess could even be a possibility of something they have to fight. Then Alicia, like an idiot, goes and presents this to Clev, and Clev is all like, oh, this is a royal. It makes sense. I did pick them up in the destroyed castle. And like, I guess Alicia gets something out of this, learning that, you know, the capital of Hydrat is gone. The king is dead. But now Clev is out here, like, knowing the forge exists. So all he would have to do, theoretically, is destroy that forge. And now humanity is useless again until they reinvent the wheel. So Alicia is an idiot, and Clev gets the brilliant idea of raising this baby, now named Luna, and making him a king. So then he can control a human nation, not because he thinks it'll make him more powerful, but because he wants the perspective. And once again, we have images that go hard. You know, this guy is a monster in more ways than one. While they're on their travels, these bandits show up and whack Clev over the head, and they get abducted. So now they're being traded as probably slaves, and instead of getting them out of here, Clev just decides, I'll go along with it. Which, you know, until you get to town, sure, I guess. Then break out right outside of town and then sneak into town. Sure, if that's what he's doing. I'm sure it's something like that, because, you know, you're not gonna get all the way to town and then stay a slave, unless you're an idiot. Maybe Clev an idiot too, but, you know, like, at least you get a free ride this way, right? Anyways, this has been episode 1 of Clevatess. What do you guys think? I'm actually pretty excited for this one. I think more people should watch this one. If you have like one anime you can watch this season, and we're not talking about season 2s of anime, I would definitely go with this one. It's super exciting to me. Like an isekai plot without the isekai part. And I love isekai, so this is going to be really interesting to see. I want to see how they more further develop the strength of humanity and possibly the heart of Clevatess, because Clevatess currently has no heart. It's all about him and his power, and humanity are just bugs under his feet. So I want to see how he develops as a character. Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and until next time, you guys have a blessed day.